Good morning from Universal Studios Hollywood. Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as well as Inauguration Day, and we'll see how the crowds are today. Everyone is off work and school. We're doing one Universal update a week just because construction is moving so slowly as of right now. This allows us to have very detailed videos at least once a week, and also a lot to talk about each week. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking a lot about CityWalk because we have so many closures in CityWalk, starting with this entire parking lot. This section of the Woody Woodpecker parking lot was used for oversized trucks, but as you can see, there are walls around this area, and there's only one reason for that. It's because they are creating several new security hubs to enter CityWalk. So now, instead of having to go through security in front of the park, all you have to do is go through security at CityWalk. So if you want to eat and dine in CityWalk, you don't actually have to leave the premises of the park and go back in and do that whole frustrating security walk every time you leave the park to dine in CityWalk. So I think that's very useful. I think it'll help businesses a lot in CityWalk as well, just because you don't have to feel like you're leaving the actual theme park to just dine outside of the park. So we have 3 new hubs being constructed for that. The first entrance of CityWalk is going to be right over here. The next entrance would be near iFly. The third entrance would be towards Frankenstein parking structure, which is the closest parking lot to the front of the park. And there might be more that open with the hotels that start construction soon. We have 2 new hotels that are going to be taking shape as of this year. There's going to be one closest to the front of the park very soon, and there's one in the back half of CityWalk by iFly. Now, they haven't started any preparation on that front park hotel, but they did start construction around the back half of CityWalk where that other hotel would go. Before we get to that, we have a little bit of a refurbishment going on in front of the AMC here. Might be just plumbing, but walls are up for that. I feel like they should have ticket distribution moved to out here. It just looks a little bit nicer if they have the building coming out just a little more. So we're right in front of Things from Another World, and to the right you could see that iFly is closed. That iconic LED sign is going to be removed very soon. I'm really going to miss little details like that in CityWalk, especially this iFly sign. I only got to do iFly once in my lifetime. When I turned 10 years old for my 10th birthday, I did iFly with my sister. We went up and down. It was so fun. So this will be removed to make way either for another security hub or the entrance of the hotel. And I believe they're going to start working on this hotel way before they work on the security hubs. This is where the Escapology escape rooms are going to be located, in this back half. I think the entire escape room lobby, whatever you call it, will be 2 stories high, and escape rooms will be located on the bottom and top floor. A few friends of mine just did an Escapology escape room, and they didn't enjoy it that much. It may have a higher budget, and the production value may be higher since it's located at a Universal park. We'll see. What's crazy to me is out of the entire CityWalk purge that they're doing, Raider Nation, or whatever this place is called, Raiders Warehouse, is still open, and it'll remain open for a while. Through this entire CityWalk purge and I guess refurbishment, CityWalk is going to be unrecognizable in a positive way. The prime years of CityWalk was anywhere between like 1999 and maybe 2010. During those times, CityWalk had like nightclubs and so many bars. And overall, this was just kind of the spot to hang out with friends. They had like a bowling alley down there. But we don't have entertainment like that anymore here in CityWalk. So hopefully, through these refurbishments that they're doing in CityWalk, we have a lot more retail locations and dining locations that make CityWalk pop again. On top of it, I think past 6 p.m. they need to get rid of the $30 parking. I think it drops down to $10 past 6 p.m. Or there might be, they should find a way for people to like validate their parking so they could get like $20 back. So that way like parking in CityWalk is just $20 or $10. I think $30 for parking just to eat in CityWalk is a little harsh. So they should find a way to make it cheaper for guests visiting only CityWalk. And the iconic Abercrombie and Fitch has closed down. This place has been open forever. Before Abercrombie, it was like a 2-story like record and CD shop. I forget what it was called. That was located over here, and it was really cool because it was 2 stories tall. It was around when my dad actually used to work at the park. As you can see, the Abercrombie and Fitch sign was removed and it sits empty inside. It kind of sucks because I would actually shop at this Abercrombie. I hate driving to Glendale. That's like the nearest one for me outside of the one here at Universal. But now I have to drive to Glendale. The one thing I love about CityWalk is they love leaving old hints to what used to be here. Like there used to be a comedy club. I forgot what it was called. They removed the name of the comedy club that used to be on this sign. But you can see it still says comedy club. And on that LED sign, they would just show like highlights of some of the comedians that would come up on stage. I think the comedy club was located to the left of Antojitos. And then the dragon that sits right above Bubba Gump was for, I think, Howl at the Moon, the bar that used to be on the 2nd floor. I might have that piece of information wrong because I just never been there, but I believe it was for Howl at the Moon. No, I take it back. That was for Infusion, the bar above Bubba Gump. And then to the right over there was Howl at the Moon. To our right, this used to be like a little magic shop. And to the left, I believe this is where the entrance for the comedy club was. The one thing that breaks my heart is that Sparky's is closed now. And here's your last little look into Sparky's. That's actually so sad. Sparky's has been a part of CityWalk since the very beginning of CityWalk in 1993. And it just kind of sits here nowadays. I never really see people walk into Sparky's. I usually just walked in to get packs of gum. This is the only place on Universal property that sold chewing gum. But to the left, they had a donut shop. And I've never had any of the donuts there. Outside of the samples they used to give, I think they stopped giving out samples in like 2015. But that's the only time I ever tried their donuts. So today is the first day of Sparky's closure. To our right, we have Insomnia Cookies that should open probably by the next month or 2. Crepe Cafe has closed as well, maybe 2 weeks ago. That also breaks my heart because there aren't many crepe restaurants. You can't go anywhere and get a crepe near Burbank. And they were just so darn good. They actually just removed the sign for Crepe Cafe. It used to sit right above. There was a little Eiffel Tower. That's gone now. You can see the Crepe Cafe logo. It's also removed. You can just see its silhouette from the sun damage. Can't see inside though. They're still going pretty hard on Wicked promo right now, and they're gonna leave this up until about mid-April. So I don't know if this will be here until April, but inside of the park they'll have the Wicked restaurant and they'll also have the Wicked retail store until about mid-April. We talked about this a lot last week, but they have 50th anniversary merchandise for SNL. I don't really know much about SNL, but I did get to see this merchandise at least like 5 months in advance. In September when I went to New York, they actually already had all this merchandise out at the NBC Studios store. Due to the fires that they had recently in Los Angeles, and that resulted in the closure of the park for about 2 days, I think it delayed the process of removing Christmas decorations by a lot. Because it's January 20 today, and we still have a lot of Christmas decorations up in the front half of the theme park. Universal Orlando had a change in its front gate music, and I feel like Universal Hollywood should be the next to make this move. Our music in the front of the park has been the same since 2021, and honestly, it's just so annoying. I don't like the music they switched to post-COVID. They played such awesome songs in front of the gates pre-COVID, and I feel like they should either bring that loop back or just change the songs entirely. Another thing they should really consider changing or upgrading are these biometric scans. It shouldn't take over 5 minutes to enter a theme park. They should instead switch to what Disney and Six Flags parks do, with just taking a picture of your face so that way you can enter the theme park. First of all, that's more reliable. The system doesn't go down every 2 seconds, and it keeps the process moving nice and fast. So it took about a total of 12 minutes to just move down maybe like 22 people in front of me. Probably less than 22, but still, it shouldn't take over 5 minutes to enter a theme park. Crowds are very low today, surprisingly. The theme park closes at 7 p.m. tonight. We have like an average of a 15-minute wait to park wide. It's not all that bad. So that'll allow us to get on some rides today. I want to try to do at least like Jurassic or maybe even Mummy today. Tons of Christmas decorations out right now. It's January 20, what's going on? Oh yeah, look at Fast and Furious. Lots of theming now on the exterior of the station. It's looking really great. I think this is like the closest look we have at theming now. That's so cool. And they just added the upper trim for the brickwork. That's really nice. It looks really cool. It doesn't continue all the way down. They haven't installed that quite yet. I think it's still like wood or whatever this material is here at the moment, but they'll continue that all the way down very soon. To me, it's kind of strange that they install all of this so soon. Personally, I would install prefabricated items and pieces after construction is done, so that way you just like put everything in. It doesn't have any chance of getting dirty or broken. But these are professionals, so they know what they're doing. So recently I've been upgrading the interior of my room, and I just made my room a little bit larger. I live separately from the house, and I've just been learning so much about construction, stucco work, drywall, all that stuff, framing, and I've been building walls all by myself, reframing doors, installing new doors. And so I feel like this just helped me understand a lot more of what they're doing. So when it comes down to interior work, when the scaffold goes down and it looks on the interior of this project, I feel like I'll be able to talk all about it so easily. Hair is going all crazy right now because it's so windy right now. We have this long gust of wind, and it's probably hard to hear me over the wind. But look at this. We have this crazy inversion that took shape in front of us, and this is such an exciting element because look how close it is to this launch piece of track here. Yeah, this is definitely a launch right here. Either a trim brake or a launch. These look like launches though. But literally look how close you are to this other piece of track. That's so cool. And then after the launch, I mean, I guess it takes you down to the other side of the project. It's just crazy to me how close all these pieces of track are to each other. It looks so cool. Construction is going to go by so fast in the next coming weeks because we don't foresee any chance of rain in the next like 2 or 3 weeks. So that allows all the construction crew to work on this very, very easily. However, if it does rain, that'll slow everything down because, as you can see, they're still doing a lot of work in the ground. They're still moving dirt. They're still digging out holes down there, so that'll ultimately slow everything down if it rains. But it's not going to rain for at least 3 weeks, so it gives them 3 strong weeks to work on this project, which is great. The less rain we have this year, the faster they work and the faster this project opens, because if we keep up at this pace, the project could open by September of this year, and that means we could see some, not theming, but testing by this summer. They need to test this ride a handful of times before allowing people to actually ride it, so maybe like 50 to 100,000 tests, and then people will be able to get on this ride, so probably by September or October. This will be similar to Super Nintendo World. Super Nintendo World soft opened in January, officially opened in February. So this roller coaster will most likely soft open sometime towards the end of this year and officially open in January or February. I believe Super Silly Funland is now only operating seasonally, so it's not going to operate every single day. We're not going to see the water on every day, which kind of sucks because it removes kinetic energy from the park. But on the warmer days, it'll be open, so maybe Saturday, Sundays, if the weather is over like 79 degrees. I just noticed something crazy about the entrance to Simpsons. So we had really strong gusts of wind last week or 2 weeks ago, and it looks like it took out one of the carnival tents behind Krusty's head. So here's one of them, and look to the right, it's gone. So it looks like it took it out. I wonder, I don't think they're gonna fix that. I don't think Simpsons is gonna receive another refurbishment. I think this is it. They're letting the ride kind of break apart until they officially close the ride in 2026. Now the closure I just speculated might not be accurate, but the contract for The Simpsons with Universal expires very soon, and by 2028, they cannot have anything Simpsons related in the theme park. The second it hits January 1st, 2028, everything Simpsons must be already torn down. So I predict probably by mid-2026, they'll probably close this ride so that way they can start removing everything. These pieces of track are just crazy. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I over-exaggerate roller coasters just because I'm terrified of them. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to ride this one. It's scary. I'll try to do it at least once for you guys, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this that often. Maybe like once a year, if that. But there's also a possibility, like, this roller coaster isn't scary at all when I ride it, and I think it's fine, and I'll be able to constantly ride this without getting bored. Or not even getting bored, just getting scared in general. So guys, I'm hearing some crazy speculation that they're gonna have a huge animatronic of Dominic Toretto as you're riding this roller coaster. I'm kidding. I was just trying to be like the other YouTubers that talk about this roller coaster. But damn, wouldn't that be crazy? Giant Dominic Toretto as you're trying. Okay, I can't take this seriously. And the big rumor for this side hill project that's been pretty quiet recently is that they're gonna relocate the studio tour to this lower half of the park. I don't know if that's gonna happen anytime soon. I think they just started clearing it up to have it clear and open. But I haven't heard anything about this. I've just been hearing some rumors on like Twitter and Discord about this. That's about it. And I mean, all they did was clear out the side of the hill, nothing crazy. I think they're gonna hold off any major projects with this park until this coaster is done, and then maybe as soon as they start demolishing Simpsons, we'll start seeing some more progress here. Also, this is such a crazy view of the coaster. I'm just realizing this. This looks really cool. I love it. See the theming very nice from here too. There's no scaffolding on this side of the building. John Murdy, who is the creative director of Halloween Horror Nights, he does the writing for the haunted houses and some other stuff. He was asked on Twitter if this location will be used for Horror Nights, and he said yeah. He said he's currently writing a haunted house that'll go in this spot, but I don't think that's possible because this is still considered an active construction project. They can't have guests without a hard hat 20 feet near this project, so I don't know. I don't know if this is going to happen. I don't think they'll finish this by Horror Nights, but we'll see. It's also pretty funny because you could kind of see where some of the haunted house walls were located. I think that's really cool. Trying to get some more unique views onto this coaster, and I think this is like the coolest one right here. It's so awesome. They're currently wetting the dirt, and I think they're gonna start pushing out some more dirt. Maybe they're putting in some rebar into the ground to hold up the sound walls soon. Those should be going up maybe within the next like month or two here. They haven't started constructing any of the sound walls. They haven't put any of the supports up for the sound walls either. Those look very different than coaster supports. So once we start seeing some weird looking supports, those are sound walls. Yeah, this is a really cool element right here. You invert and then you go over and under. It's so fun. ultimately wraps up today's video here at Universal. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll be back for next week's round of updates here at Universal Studios Hollywood. I'm JP, and how they see in the movies. That's a wrap. See you guys in the next one.